Come on, right now this is biggest fight in boxing. Come on, third fight for us, Canelo, everybody knows Canelo, just it's the biggest gift for people who really like boxing. Everybody's different situation, different way, different everything, come on. Last fight in Canelo, he looked different, not like a 168, 75, no, because different.
Man, when Gennady Golovkin speaks on boxing, the whole room falls silent. His punches. They ring out like cathedral bells, loud, clear, unforgettable. So when he shares his thoughts, you don't just listen. You hang on every word like it's scripture.
Look like he's improving and getting better.
Marcos, I told you just, every opponent gives you different, every fight is different.
So you think
I don't feel like, more power, more speed. No, he stayed the same,
And if you bring up Canelo versus Crawford to Triple G, he just flashes that cold, knowing grin, then delivers it straight. Canelo? He's strong. Very strong. I've felt his punches. He breaks arms, breaks wills. Then he pauses, eyes narrowing. Crawford, he's smart, sharp. But he's small. He's never fought a guy like Canelo before.
There's no way Crawford can do what Golovkin did. Golovkin's a different animal. Golovkin's a 160-pounder, very strong, very dominant, big puncher. And Crawford doesn't have that. Crawford has great skills, but doesn't have that punch to keep Canelo off of him. Golovkin had that punch and that strength to keep Canelo off of him, to keep him from just doing whatever.
Triple G keeps it respectful, no doubt. He calls Crawford dangerous, says Bud can make seasoned fighters look like amateurs with just his mind, but then he drops the hammer. You can't outthink a truck doing 100 miles an hour. In Triple G's world, that's the gospel. Skill matters, but size and power, they end the debate. And right now, Canelo's still behind the wheel of that 18-wheeler at 168.
No, if Crawford wins, obviously, I said up to this point, Canelo is the number one for me. But if Crawford wins, oh yeah, of course, Crawford has to be number one. Fundamentally, boxing-wise. Now, can he draw like Canelo?
But here's the best part. Triple G, always slick, leaves the door cracked just enough that if Crawford makes it through the first 6, maybe Canelo fades. Maybe Bud figures him out. That's vintage Golovkin. Direct, blunt, no hype, no fluff. Bottom line? Triple G sees Canelo winning by sheer punishment, but he respects Bud enough to admit there's a sliver of a storm hiding in that calm. A slim chance. But a real one.
Well, Madrimov just, I think, showed us that Crawford doesn't have that one-punch knockout, first of all. He's going to have to put punches together, and he can put punches together 147, 140, and they're going to be quick punches. With Canelo, they're going to be a little bit slower. So Canelo's.
Here's why Triple G's words land different. He's no couch analyst. He's been in the fire. Twice first fight. Triple G stalked Canelo like a man chasing rent. Jabbing, pressing, owning the ring. Most fans swear he got robbed second fight. Whole new script. Canelo stood his ground, met fire with fire, and fought toe-to-toe in the center like a warrior. Triple G didn't just study the storm, he survived it. That's why when he speaks, you don't just listen, you respect it.
Alvarez fought on the back foot, relying on counterattacks, but Triple G kept pressing forward, landing jabs that pierced through even Canelo's tight defense. Despite the thunderous punches exchanged, Golovkin never backed down.
That's when Golovkin knew Canelo wasn't just some flashy Mexican star. He was a stone wall with head movement. Triple G admitted it himself, he didn't run. He fought me. Mexican style. Respect. That's the thing. Canelo earned his stripes the hard way, bleeding for every inch against Golovkin. Every punch they traded felt like it carried history, and now? You see why Triple G gives Crawford that smirk when the question comes up. He's not just giving an opinion, he's issuing a quiet warning.
Terence putting the weight on that he's put on may not be the fastest, may not be the strongest at that weight. He had difficulties with the 154-pound champion that he beat. So at 168, he's fighting a guy that's been tested against the big names.
Triple G knows better than anyone. Canelo's game isn't just raw power. It's timing, patience, cold, quiet confidence, like he's got all night to break you apart. Yeah, Crawford's got the brains. But Golovkin's story is the warning. Before you solve the puzzle, you've got to survive the storm. Triple G took his shot. Now the spotlight swings to Kell Brook, and trust this, when a man who shared the ring with both Golovkin and Crawford speaks, you don't just listen. You lean in.
Unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience and just his ring generalship, you know, he's got confidence, he's big.
But the moment Crawford versus Canelo comes up, the switch flips and he keeps it real. At first glance, you've got to lean toward Canelo. Why? Because jumping weight isn't just, I had an extra sandwich today. It's not about a few pounds, it's about stepping into a different world. Kel knows firsthand. When he moved up to face Golovkin, it wasn't just size, it was a full-blown reality check. The hits, the strength, the presence, it's another level entirely.
Middleweight, a mediocre world champion's okay, but when you're fighting someone like, you know, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, you know. I have to lean towards Canelo, but, you know, Crawford's very.
But stepping in with monsters like Canelo or Triple G, whole different kettle of fish. And Kell Brook's still feeling the aftertaste, but here's the twist. Kell's not writing Crawford off. Not even close. He calls Bud very, very, very good, sharp as hell. Then he drops the real question, does Crawford still have the legs? Because yeah, Mayweather beat Canelo with movement, angles, footwork, but Kell's quick to remind us Bud's not that kind of mover. And against a tank like Canelo, that might matter more than anything else.
Really like Mayweather in that aspect. It's like he's more, you know, he kind of sets his feet. He's cute with how he approaches, chucking shots and moving. You know what I mean? I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he.
Canelo's a different fighter now than when he faced Mayweather. That Crawford's no longer the guy running circles. He sets his feet, picks his spots, and counters with pure ring IQ instead of running laps. Kell's basically saying Canelo's seen plenty of movers before, but Crawford's style is a different beast, and that might just open some windows. Now here's where it gets spicy. Kell Brook doesn't just talk from the sidelines. He's got the scars to back it up. Remember when he faced Crawford? Kell came in sharp, snapping that jab, even catching Bud clean a few times early on. For a moment, people were thinking, yo, Kell might actually be onto something here.
Kell Brook throwing the jab where Terence Crawford has his lead arm slightly above it and then deflects it downwards and throws his own jab at the same time, which Kell Brook walks into.
He shifted southpaw, and within a couple rounds, Kell's legs gave out to a right hand from Crawford that folded him clean. It was surgical. Quick. Almost eerie how Crawford flipped the switch. That fight showed exactly what Kell means when he says Bud's not a runner like Mayweather. He's a hunter. Stalking, setting traps, then detonating with precision. And that's why Kell's words hit harder. He's been in the trenches, felt those shifts in real time. He knows just how dangerous it gets when Bud plants his feet and starts reading the openings.
Boxers try to establish that lead arm. Kell Brook tries to throw the jab and then walks into a punch. Crawford was able to parry, deflect, and throw the jab at the same time with the same arm, hurting Kell.
All right, after Kell Brook laid down the reel, talking size, legs, and how Crawford ain't no Mayweather clone, we slide right into Bob Arum's world. And let me tell you, Uncle Bob didn't come to whisper. He lit the mic up like it was karaoke night. But instead of singing, he was roasting Canelo like he's more accountant than gladiator, and honestly, he's not wrong. Bob's basically saying, yo, this ain't the same Canelo swinging for legacy anymore. This is the Canelo playing it safe, like he's guarding a trust fund.
I had to pay money to watch that fight. I wouldn't do it because Canelo has shown in his last few fights that he's just a businessman. He's not in there to entertain the public. He just takes the...
We've all seen it. 1 minute you're hyped for a mega fight. Next thing you know, Canelo's...
Terence Crawford is a real old-school professional fighter who wants to do his best every fight.
And that's where Bob Arum's words land harder than a jab to the ribs. He's saying Crawford can't just waltz into 168 and expect to be the same slick mover. Yeah, you add muscle, get stronger, but those reflexes? They lose half a beat. And against Canelo, half a beat is all it takes. That you're either slipping that hook or staring up at the lights, wondering why the ceiling's spinning. Crawford built his legacy on timing, rhythm, and making world-class fighters look like they're sparring blindfolded. But at 168, with that extra weight strapped on, he ain't dancing in the same shoes anymore.
Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimal. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions.
Meanwhile, Canelo. This is his natural habitat. He owns super middleweight like it's his living room, every inch of it mastered, power, stamina, patience, all locked in perfect sync with his framed. He's not experimenting. Not adjusting to his just Canelo, the lion hunting in his jungle. And if Bud steps in even a fraction slower, lugging weight his body doesn't love, then Aram's warning? That's straight up prophecy. Canelo will punish every ounce of that added muscle, so yeah, whether Canelo shows up as the hungry lion or the check-cashing businessman, one thing's certain, we're breaking it all down right here.